Along the Riverbank. Chapter 1. Oscar the Otter. Did you know there is a river that runs through Coventry? Well, there is. You wouldn't know it was there. Some of it runs under the city centre. Many years ago, you could see the river run through Coventry. I can remember it when I was a boy. But as cities change and grow bigger, with bigger buildings, some things get covered up and forgotten. Well, that's what happened to the River Sherborne. Along that river, right at the far end of the city, there is a meadow with lush green grass, trees that touch the sky, and wildlife everywhere, far away from the hustle and bustle of the city centre. The River Sherborne runs right through this meadow, and this is where our story begins. Along the riverbank lived Oscar. Oscar was an otter. What's an otter, you might ask? Well, I'm going to tell you. Otters are animals that live near and around water. They live in nests called holts. Otters are long and slim animals with 4 short legs. They are fantastic swimmers and spend a lot of time in the water. They can stay underwater for 8 minutes and they use their tail to steer while they swim. They have thick fur that keeps them warm in the winter. Their fur is often brown on the top and lighter underneath. They have webbed feet, which helps them swim, and they can run really fast. Oscar lived on the Sherborne Riverbank. He was small for an otter, but fast, very, very fast. He could run like the wind blows. He lived with his mum and dad and his sister, Ebony. Oscar finished his breakfast and was brushing his teeth when his mum called him. Oscar! JJ and Life are at the door. JJ and Life were brothers. They lived just around the river bend, on the other side of the riverbank. Their dad, who was known as Big Joe, was the biggest and strongest otter in the whole of the Sherborne. It's said that he even had a fight with a wolf and beat him. Oscar gave his mum a kiss and went out to meet his friends. It was Saturday, so they didn't have to go to school today. They go to Riverbank High School. It's ran by Mr. Lefoxky, a firm but fair head teacher who always puts the children first. So it was Saturday. They had the day to themselves. It was a very cold morning. The lush green grass of the meadow was wet with the morning dew, as if it had rained. It hadn't rained though. It was just the morning dew. You could see your breath in the air. The 3 of them looked like little chimneys walking, and their breath like the smoke. What shall we do today? Said JJ. I know, said Life. And just as Life was about to answer, they heard a sound coming from the meadow, a screeching sound. They all looked at each other. What was that?